So today we will be discussing a teaching and learning approach called the 5E instructional model, and we will be discussing each one of the 5 components and how you can implement them in your own classroom. So the first step in the instructional model is engage, and in this step you really want to capture students' attention and get them really interested in what they're about to learn about. And student interest is incredibly important because when a student is more interested in a topic, they're more likely to pay attention, to participate in group activities, and they're much more motivated to learn this topic, and they're more likely to remember it later on. And to achieve this, you can show a video clip or ask a discussion question, really anything that gets students talking and engaged in what they're about to learn about.
I've got a quadratic trying to solve for x. I've got no idea what to do. The math is erratic, my work it's all wrong, and for solutions I've gotta find 2. Yeah, I know it's hard to remember what is the right strategy. There's no greatest common factor for all terms A, B, and C. It's not a difference of 2 squares. Oh, but what should I try? All of the time I wasted, I've got to put something down. I'll subtract the C, then divide by A. Next I will simplify, then complete the square binomial factor, then take the square root of both of the sides. I've got a quadratic, I'm gonna solve for x with a plan for just what I should do. It's gonna be automatic, the formula with solutions, yeah, there will be 2. X equals the opposite of B, plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times both B, A, and C. All that gets divided by 2A. I've got a quadratic.
So the next step in this process is the explore stage, and students should really investigate and explore the topic on their own. And when students come to their own conclusions and find their own solutions to questions and problems, they're more likely to remember them. And the teacher's role in this step is to provide materials that support students in their investigations. And an example of this is either a lab activity or group work or a group discussion that really lets all students participate and get experience with the topic. The third phase in this model is the explain phase, and in this phase students have a chance to communicate and explain what they have learned and discovered to their teachers and to their peers. And here the teacher's role is to clear up any misunderstandings students have about a concept and to help them learn more and develop their skills further. The fourth phase in the model is elaborate, and this allows students to further their knowledge and to build on their understanding of a concept. And here, teachers should introduce a new situation or a new problem so students can build on what they already know and apply what they have already learned to a different problem. The evaluation phase is something that happens throughout all 4 phases of the model. And in this phase, students should take a step back to assess their knowledge, their skills, their abilities, what they're learning, how they're feeling. And then at the end of the lesson or at the end of the day, students can compare what they knew at the beginning of the lesson and compare it to what new knowledge they gained at the end.
The 5E model is easily implemented in any STEM classroom. Here is an example of a lesson plan.
This lesson is intended for 4th to 6th grade students and will teach them about coral reefs. The engagement portion of this lesson involves showing a video on coral reef ecosystems. Ask students for questions or comments about new terms that they learned.
Nice, you guys, but it's nothing like a coral reef. According to Ms. Frizzle, a reef is a shallow place in the ocean. Ms. Frizzle also said that a coral reef is built by tiny animals.
with tiny tools?
Carlos!
Liz, a green lizard, dips a net in a fishbowl then falls in.
I meant tiny underwater animals, Carlos. Well, according to my research, coral reefs are alive.
And gazillions of fish live there. So can we move the rest of the fish from the other tank to our coral reef now?
Wait! We need one more thing to go right there. It's the only space left. And it's perfect for the shell Wanda and I are going to paint. Arr!
For the exploration portion, give the students food web cards with ocean organisms on them. The students will then stack them into a food chain on their own. Now have the students explain their reasoning behind how they created their food chains. Did everyone create the same food chain? Why or why not? What would happen if an organism disappeared from the food chain? To elaborate on this, have students pair up and read more about coral reefs. When finished, have them ask each other questions about the new information they learned. Wrap up the lesson by clearing up any questions students have, and have students reiterate the information they learned. And that's all we have for you today. Thanks for watching.